It's Scott Bywater here, and in this session I'd like to talk about the 80-20 principle and how it applies to managing our time. The reason you need to understand this is it's perhaps the single biggest key to working less and earning more. Now the 80-20 principle basically says that 20% of what you do achieves 80% of your results, and 80% of what you do achieves 20% of your results. Now with this in mind, what we want to be looking to do is to really analyse the results that our time generates for us and what sort of return on investment we're getting from our time. Now if we want to get a bit deeper with this, we can look at we can actually go even deeper and do an 80-20 on the 80-20. And if you do that, what you'll find is that 20% of 20% is 4%, and 80% of 80% is 66%. So if you really dig deep, you'll probably find that 4% of what you do generates 66% of your results. And that may be particular decisions you've made throughout your business or your career, or if you look at particular partnerships you've created and that sort of thing. And really, as they say, little hinges can swing big doors. So let me really give you an idea, because I got this concept. Recently, I was on a holiday in Fiji, and I was reading a book that I highly recommend. It's called The 80-20 Manager by a guy called Richard Koch, who's really made this 80-20 principle quite famous. But as I was reading through it, I was really starting to I started to really think about how this could apply to me. And I looked at the people that I was actually calling back and responding to, and all the leads I was generating, and what was happening. And I went through all of the leads, and it really shocked me what I see, because people will contact me, and they'll obviously they'll get in touch with me and want some help with copywriting or whatever. And when I went through those leads, I found that it was very, very true. This 80-20 principle absolutely applied. And I dug deeper and I looked into the quality of their leads. And this is the sort of depth you need to go into with everything that you're doing within your business. But what I found is that if a new lead was not an existing client and did not have a turnover in excess of at least 500,000, and $1 million was even better, 500,000, they had it was a bit, and they weren't a referral. So if they weren't a referral, were not an existing client, and did not have a turnover in excess of $500,000, the conversion, the conversion was about 1 in 28 or 1 in 30 or something. It was very, very low, and even then it was a fairly low conversion. So, and if they filled out a particular form, it was even lower, in terms of the in terms of the conversion. But if they were a referral, the conversion rate was actually quite high if they happened to be a referral. So as you can see, it can make a big difference, because what can I do now that I with this sort of information at my disposal? I'm going to change the way I do things, and it's going to become very, very different, because I'm going to spend much less time on those clients or those prospects which are far less likely to actually purchase from me as a result. And this is the key. This is the key that people don't get with time management. Like, some people think, it's just about going through and getting more done and increasing productivity and all that sort of thing. But it's actually more about getting rid of things. than anything else. That's what it's really about. And I've just pulled up those figures. I didn't have them in front of me now, but I've just pulled up these figures which I was going through. So here's the numbers I found, and these are the exact numbers. So sales from follow-up calls from filling out a simple proposal form, 13 inquiries and 2 sales. Sales from left messages on phone, 3 inquiries, 0 sales. Live person leads, which is software I have, 1 inquiry, 0 sales. Quotes from leads, 4 inquiries, 1 sale. Email inquiries, 5 inquiries, 0 sales. Facebook leads, which is some Facebook advertising I'm doing, 2 inquiries and 1 sale. Now, so there was 4 sales generated. Now, out of those 4 sales, 2 of them turned over more than $1 million a year, and 1 made over $500,000 a year, and only 1 was in the 50 to 100k range. And it's quite it's quite interesting when I go through it, because out of everyone who was under the 500k of the leads come through, I had 4 leads came through and I converted 1, whereas in the 500k plus I converted 1 out of 2. So it was 25% under 500,000. It was 50% over 500,000 in terms of the conversion, and over $1 million it was 2 out of 3. So what we're seeing here, and what you can learn from that is, hey, maybe if they're under 500,000, I shouldn't personally follow them up. I should have someone do that for me, because it's a low conversion game. If they're above 500,000, well, the conversion's 3 out of 5. It's not too bad. So I should perhaps follow those ones. Follow those ones up personally. So what we're looking at here, is quite interesting. Because if they were a referral, so here's some other statistics. Out of the 36 inquiries, here was a breakup. People who had not purchased from me in the past, 23. Sales equals 2. So I've got 23 leads. I generated 2 sales, and 1 of those sales was a referral. So what I was explaining before with the numbers, that was the ones I knew of of the dollar figures that had been of the turnover of the clients. I didn't know all of them that came through, but of the ones I knew. But I actually generated 23 leads from people who had not purchased from me in the past, and 2 of them were leads. So 2 of them turned into sales, but 1 was a referral. So people who had not purchased and were not a referral, I generated 1 sale out of 22 leads. So that's very, very low, as you can see. Now, people who have purchased from me in the past, so my conversion was 1 out of 22, which is under 5%. If they had not purchased and were not a referral. Now, compare that from people who had purchased from me in the past. I had 5 leads and 2 sales. So my conversion was 40%. So my conversion was over 8 times the conversion if they'd purchased something from me in the past. Could be anything, but that actually made an investment. And I challenge you to do the same thing with all the leads coming through in your business, and you'll be fascinated at what you discover. So this is out of the purchase. So this is the sort of thing that you're going to learn. Now, what can you learn from this? What I would be doing, and what I am doing, is anyone who contacts me, who's under the 500k range and hasn't purchased from me in the past, they're going to be receiving, either an email or a phone call from someone else, to basically qualify them. Is basically the way they're going to go. To help you get more customers, I'm giving away a free gift to everyone who watches this video. It's a brand new guide called 7 Ways to Get More Traffic and Customers, which includes a swag of cheat sheets for getting results fast. Download it for free by clicking the link in the description below this video or visiting moretrafficandcustomers.com.